Hey friends, welcome back to another weekly Good News Refresh with the Good News Collective. And I wanted to start off today with a little bit of a helpful piece of advice for you. A good way to tell what a person is really like is to see what they're like when they're at home, not when they're at public. Let me give you an example. Just a few days ago, I was talking to a few friends of mine who had recently seen what the inside of my apartment looks like. And they said to me, Paul, you seem like such a put together person when you're in public, but your apartment is a chaotic mess. And to that I said, you got me there. And maybe this is also a reason why the camera is conveniently pointing you away from the rest of my apartment. And maybe this is also the case for you. I think a lot of times when we are in public, we tend to act a little bit differently than we do at home. Maybe we dress up a little bit nicer. You know, if you're going to work, you're wearing business casual, or you're wearing your work uniform, or anything like that. But when we're at home, we tend to wear something that's a little bit more comfortable for us. Maybe sweatpants, maybe a t-shirt, pajamas even. The truth is, at home, we just tend to be a little bit more comfortable. So we act a little bit more like we really are. No facades, no, presentations to try to impress anybody, just how we are. So I wonder then, how does God act when he's at home? And what I mean by that is, if we were to see who God is truly, who is he? What does he act like? Well, I have an answer for you. And our answer actually comes from Psalm 68, verse 5, where it says, "A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling." God sets the lonely in families. He leads out the prisoners with singing. Now, when this psalm was written, and the writer talks about God in his holy dwelling, he's more talking about the temple, not literally what God is like at home. But I think it's a helpful way for us to answer that question. Who is God, truly? When we're at home, we act as we truly are, not pretending for anybody, not presenting for anybody, just what we're comfortable with, just who we really are. So, who is God really? Well, this psalm tells us exactly who he is. You know, in the past few devotionals, we've talked about some of these names of God, who God is. We've heard God be called Adonai El Roy, the God who sees me. We've heard him be called El Shaddai, God Almighty, or the God who is more than enough to meet any need. But this psalm also has names for God, names that tell us who God is. God chooses to identify himself as a father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, and one who sets the lonely in families. You see, the unique thing about all three of these things is that they're all to do with broken relationships. People who have lost their fathers or their parents. People who have lost their spouses. Or even just people who are lonely. God chooses to identify with people who are hurt by broken relationships. People who are crushed and brokenhearted. People who are alone. And my friends, this is incredible news for us. Because our world is filled with broken relationships. We suffer from loss, lying, cheating, and loneliness, amongst so many other things. But God, who he is at home, who he truly is someone who identifies with you. someone who seeks to wade into that relational hurt and brokenness and to love you, to help you, to be with you. Just take a second and think about how amazing that is. That the God of the entire universe, this is the stuff he cares about. People who are hurt, people who are broken, people who are alone. Isn't that a God worth following? A God worth loving? A God worth giving everything to? So, my friends, I hope you have an amazing day today. And I pray that you would go with this blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. Have an amazing day. Bye.